Good evening, this is Economic Development and Culture Committee, it's March 18th, we are 6:35. We're going to go through our round rules. Could you read the round rules for my allergies?
Sure, no problem. No one may speak until granted the floor. CB11 members, if you have a question about board business or wish to make a motion, please raise your hand and wait to be recognized. To raise your hand through Zoom, click the participant's icon and you will find the raise hand function there. Excuse me. Members should not engage in a back and forth discussion. The chair will recognize the next person to speak. Please keep your questions and comments brief and on topic to the discussion. Members of the public, if you have a question or comment about the subjects on the agenda, please raise your hand to be recognized. And we're going to do roll call once Jose gets back into the room. I'll do a roll call when you're ready.
Please, I'm here.
Okay, committee members, so there are 9 members total on this committee, 5 are needed to perform. Jose Altamirano,
Present.
Marcel Mondima,
Present.
Samantha Cordero. Vinnie Torres. Jenny Chomsky.
Hey, Jenny says you could.
Okay. Anne Marie Vasquez.
Present.
Thank you. Nye Whitaker. Make sure she's not virtual. Shawnee Gwilfalk. And Jason Wu. Okay, so we only have 3 present. And you don't have a quorum at this time, Chair.
Okay, so we are going to wait our finals, we'll wait our 15 minutes, and we will hold our 2. And let's say.
We're going to recess for 15 minutes until we can establish quorum.
We're gonna go on that. Let's set this rampage a little later.
I'm gonna call the roll again. Okay. Jose Altamirano,
Present.
Marcel Bandima,
Present.
Samantha Pedro.
Present.
Vinnie Torres. Jenny Chomsky excused. Anne Marie Vasquez.
Present.
Nye Whitaker.
Present.
Nye, can you?
Present.
Thank you. Shawnee Wolfolk. Absent. Jason Wu. Sure. Absent. Okay. Yes. Point.
Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to about tonight's agenda. We're gonna start with announcements.
You want me to read this off?
Please.
The New York City Department of Small Business Services has launched 2 grant programs to help catalyze merchant organizing and business improvement district formation across New York City. And the links were provided in the agenda. Children's events and programming at the 125th Street Public Library. We have other things going on as well. It's English language classes that I was NYPL. And announced last month, New York City Create in Place is a pilot program that provides centralized support focused on preserving, accessing, and expanding creative spaces for the city's cultural organizations and creative businesses, responding to rising costs and other challenges facing our city's cultural spaces. Create in Place will provide support through a number of strategies, including a new one-stop shop web portal, webinars, and an interagency task force to grant an all-of-government approach to tackling issues facing at-risk cultural spaces.
Jason.
Jason, sure. Okay.
Alright. Great. Should we start with, we already saw them here.
Business development organizations or
Yeah.
informational updates? I just went through all the announcements already.
Okay, great. So, so union settlement, I think, right? What are they counting on? So you've got this, you do a little bit of everything.
Joe Rogers from Union Settlement.
Hi, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Good to see you. Thanks for having me here again. Just a few quick announcements for you on a few exciting projects that we're working on, some of which have evolved since the last time I presented on them. One is a business attraction program. So we're going to launch on May 1st. We'll start promoting it before then. This initiative with this Office of Small Business Services, which offers $25,000 grants to new and expanding businesses in our community. It covers partial costs of the first year's lease for these businesses. And the goal is to fill vacant storefronts in our community. We'd love to partner with you all to spread the word about these opportunities, particularly for really dynamic, exciting, and prepared businesses to take advantage of this grant opportunity to build their dreams as they're helping to promote economic development by filling these vacant storefronts and developing these amazing businesses. So more on that soon, but May 1st is when we'll open that, and hopefully we can come back in April and give you more details. Spring events, as you know, we had the East Harlem for the Holidays campaign last November through January, and we're excited to begin building a new map that will promote community events, exciting events, gatherings, businesses and institutions in the community. So we'd love to partner with you again to help disseminate these maps and posters. And that will include the East Harlem Nights campaign, the party with a purpose that we hold every sort of late spring, sort of summer. So we're finalizing those dates, but that'll be in May and June, and look forward to sharing more with you on that. We are about to release, I think last time I was here, I presented on the East Harlem Theater and Cultural District feasibility study. In short, this is an opportunity to connect cultural institutions, performance spaces, and artists and art stakeholders throughout East Harlem in the effort to achieve synergy in marketing and branding with some transformation of physical spaces, both at the cultural institutions and outside potentially. The report will be released this month, and it will include recommendations and a roadmap to bring some of these plans to fruition in continued collaboration with a steering committee that will be forming next month, and ultimately a body, sort of a more permanent governance body that will comprise representatives of institutions who will get the work off the ground and drive revenue not only to arts institutions, but also to the small businesses in our area that will benefit from increased foot traffic, folks who want to go to dinner, for example, after a night at the theater or a dance performance or whatever it may be. Meet and greet, I know many of you are on our list, so we have our first meet and greet of the year next Wednesday, March 26th at the Terrace. It's next Wednesday from 5:30 to 7. And this is an opportunity for major institutions in East Harlem to connect with dynamic small business owners who have products and services that can help meet the needs of these institutions and help reduce the outflow of resources from the community through these intentional connections. Think of it as sort of economic development speed dating. We'll have institutional representatives and small business owners in the same room, and they'll have a chance to connect with each other and develop collaborations that will lead to increases in hiring and the expansion of businesses. Because again, we're keeping the dollars in the community. Finally, we have another exciting campaign. Who's on Second? I don't know if any of you are familiar with the Abbott and Costello comedy sketch, the Who's on First campaign. So it's sort of a riff on that. And essentially what we're doing is we're highlighting businesses along the Second Avenue corridor, many of which have been impacted by the construction. So we have a campaign. We actually created baseball cards with the owners of select businesses in the community. We put out a call to action, and a number of these Second Avenue or Second Avenue adjacent businesses thought this would be a good way to get the word out there that they're still there. They still need our support, and they're doing great work. So the goal is to distribute the baseball cards, but also to post posters on some of the construction fences around the Second Avenue construction site. And if we can, we're angling to get some of these announcements, some of these profiles of Second Avenue businesses in the subway stations as well. So we have a little more work to do to make sure that we have the approval to do that second part. But I'm excited to share those baseball cards with you, and you'll start to see them at some of the featured Second Avenue businesses very soon. Again, we want to partner with you all with CB11 to help spread the word, and we can make sure that you all get your fair share of baseball cards as well. Thank you very much.
Do we have any questions?
I do.
I figured. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Anne Marie. 3 questions. The first one is with your first announcement regarding the SBS grant that they are offering that's gonna start in May. Am I correct?
That's a business, we call it the business attraction program to fill the vacant storefront. Yeah.
Okay, this is only for starting new businesses?
Yeah, it could be
Or-
either, opening new businesses, or it could be for existing businesses that are looking to open a second or third location in a different area. Yeah, you can't just,
So for existing,
go ahead, I'm sorry.
and so for existing businesses, it has to be like a second or third
Location.
location.
New
And-
location. Yep.
Okay, but it's geared more to first timers. But if you have a business, you have to be a second or third location. Okay, got that. And then the maps, the one where you would have the event.
Yeah, the
Would it-
spring events map. Yep.
Right, would it only have events that Union Settlement is having, or are you gonna collect events that are happening in the community?
We
You
have
can put
actually
them in the
started
map.
that. That's a great question. Yeah, we have a group of stakeholders, institutions, some businesses, CB11 also represented on the holiday campaign. Did you all see I know you all distributed the map, so you're familiar with that effort. So it's similarly, well, we're tapping into some of the same stakeholders, and then the other events will be Union Settlements, sort of in-house events, if you will. So East Harlem Nights will be featured on the map, and there'll be both a digital version and a printed paper version. And the events will also be featured on the website, the East Harlem Community Alliance website.
If you're not a stakeholder, can you still provide you guys with the event so that you can put it on the map or no?
I would,
You have to be a-
yeah, if you would email me, and I'll bring it back to the team. I think there's room for additional stakeholders or folks who aren't necessarily, I haven't been in the loop to date to play a role, but if you would email me, and then I can, discuss it with the team and get some input from Michelle Cruz and others. So my email address is, and I can put it in the chat later, is consult J Rogers, ROGERS at unionsettlement.org. And I will put that in the chat as well. So yeah, please email me if you would.
Okay, and you're gonna give us some baseball cards, right, for the Second Avenue?
But yeah, who's on Second Avenue campaign? Yeah.
Okay.
And
Thank you.
a poster if you'll take one as well.
Yeah,
Those are forthcoming.
okay.
Thank you for
I'll
your,
email you.
Thank you, Joe. Any other questions?
Nye has a question.
Nine, go ahead.
Hey guys, hey Joe. It's a little bit of a question and a comment. I just wanted to remind everybody that Union Settlement is celebrating 130 years on April 3rd at 6 p.m. at the Edison Ballroom. I went to Union Settlement when I was a kid for after school and weekends. I know a lot of people in our community have, and I know that they definitely need our love and support. Joe, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say about it, but I'm going, and I want to encourage other people, whether you can go or not, to make a donation, to purchase an ad, to support this longstanding institution, because they do so much in our community, and we need them to be sustained and to continue to do the great work.
Thank you for the plug. No, I appreciate it. Yeah, and I haven't been to it, but I hear it's a phenomenal gala on April 30th, as I mentioned. So yeah, definitely, we need your support, and all the initiatives that I discussed earlier benefit from not only from government and philanthropic sources, but also from East Harlemites who believe in this work, and in Nye's case, who have benefited from it early on. So thank you for that.
Right, thank you, Joe, for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all the work you do over there. Tell Michelle we said hi.
I sure will.
We look forward to continue working with you.
Thank you. Yeah, and I'll put a link to the gala in the chat as well. Thanks again, Nye. Okay, thank you, Jose.
Thank- Do we have Will we put Carrie up now? When you're a mix
Yes.
of everything?
Sure.
I'm
From
just
here.
happy, I'm just happy that, this is pretty much the same group we had last month. Minus a few people from your end, but I'm happy that we're able to hear you tonight. I was getting a little worried at 6:30 we're gonna have, oh my God. Yeah, but
We're
sure,
here. We're here.
all right, love it.
Hello, everybody. My name is Carrie King. I'm from Uptown Grand Central. This is my colleague Justin. Britton.
Everybody.
We are a small organization, but we try to do a lot of work. So the latest update that I have is, we are working on forming East Harlem's first business improvement district. And we just heard today that we're gonna get introduced, it will get introduced into city council. It passed city planning. It is gonna get introduced into city council next Wednesday, March 22nd. And then that will put us up for being, having a hearing April 24th. Which would mean that we might have a bid in place by next winter, which would be really great. Once we have a bid, it means that the property owners that are in the area will contribute funding that will help fund street cleaning and community initiatives, safety, security, community events, things like that. So that's on its way. It's making progress. Also, now that it is warming up, we're gonna be expanding street cleaning a little bit. It is, street cleaning is our top expense as our organization. It's about 40% of our budget. Most bids and groups that do this kind of work, it's about 30 to 50% of their budget. Street cleaning is, we mirror a city service and it's super expensive to provide. So, we got a little extra money, so we always try to put it in the warmer months, because as you know, that's when the city is the stinkiest and the yuckiest. So we should have a new guy starting, if not tomorrow, then next week, which will help a little bit. Right now, we just have two guys, one in the morning and one in the afternoon, which is not enough for East One coming to the street. So we got that going on, and then also, Justin is, recently started as our ambassador, part-time, but we're learning and figuring out how that works, and we're working it out. And so we've been doing some outreach, with NYPD, and I'm gonna talk to him to talk about that for a little bit.
Yes, so they have a big initiative.
Can you say your full name again, please, for the record? Please, I'm sorry.
Carrie? Oh,
Carrie.
this is Justin Britton.
Justin, Bird, thank you.
Yes, NYPD has a new initiative where they're setting security cameras to link with the precincts so that it'll be more of a real-time thing where they have access to, instead of getting hearsay from a witness, oh, this is what the perp looked like, or this is where it was, they'll actually have real-time access. And in the future, they may be able to even implement it into smartphone technology. So at the fingertips of the officer, it may be getting to their phones, but right away, it'll be going to the hub, going to their precincts, and they can distribute the information that way. We've gotten 3 stores to sign on so far, which is the beauty salon on 125th Street. All these establishments are on 125th Street. Beautiful thing is they all took a liking to it. We had a walkthrough with the community officers, and they were very cordial, and it allowed them to connect with these businesses. And I think because of these 3 businesses, it will spread to the others, because they'll see, oh, you took it on, maybe we should try it. This can only be a benefit to us in our neighborhood. I used to think adversely, and then I realized, no, this is gonna cut out a lot of, I think this is the perp or the wrong guy getting arrested because they look similar to the perp. Now they have real-time footage of, look, this is the individual, this is who we're looking at.
And it's a lot easier too, because the businesses before, the cops would have to come and pull footage and run the tape and all that, and it's open to anybody. So it's, I don't know the exact name, but if you do NYPD Connect, it's open to any property owner can sign their building up. And like Justin said, they can tap through to the footage, and eventually the 911 will be able to patch straight in to the building so that the cop who's responding knows what they're getting into. They were saying like a lot of times they respond to a crime and like they saw the perpetrator like walk away,
It's about
but they didn't know it was the perpetrator because they just
because
arrived.
they don't know what the perp looks like, so they literally walk by the person that just committed the crime. And we know as Harlemites, some of these crimes could be pretty heinous, so. Let's,
We're working on it.
yes, the safer the better, we're doing our best.
And we know that the businesses on 125th, their chief concerns are cleanliness and safety.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it, that probably echoes a lot of these Harlem. So we're working on that, and then we have events coming up, volunteer cleanup days, we'll have a lot of those. We already did one last week with a group of students that were here. Bike rides, you may have heard we do these bike rides with City Bike and Health Department. We've done mocktail rides, we've done hot chocolate rides, we've done agua fresco or horchata rides. I think we're gonna do a bubble tea ride. We're actually have enough bubble tea in Harlem to put together a bubble tea ride, which could not have been said last year. And then there's gonna be a wellness festival in Marcus Garvey Park, May 17th, with the fitness businesses. You'll start to see more of the gates and murals are gonna be painted in spring and summer now that it's warming up. So they're all gonna get not all of them, a lot of them will get a refresh. And then we're also doing this project with City College. There's an initiative at the Spitzer School of Architecture called the Place Memory Culture Incubator, with the idea that small businesses hold the culture of the neighborhood, right? Like, it's not McDonald's, it's not Costco, it's small businesses that know the people and the history and the stories. And so we've got students from City College that are interviewing our businesses that have been around 25 years or more. Not every business, we don't have enough capacity to do everybody, but we're building an archive that will be hosted in an archive on the City College website. We have interviewed El Barrio's car service yesterday, and also Mexico Travel. We're gonna be doing the music store, El Barrio Music Center. Christopher Barbershop, he's been cutting hair for 50 years. So if you have businesses that you know, some of these businesses that have been around a long time they're not on Instagram because they don't need it and they didn't know how to do it. So if you know a small business that's always canvassed a neighborhood, I think we have a pretty solid database. But just yesterday, I found out that Ideal Pet Warehouse has been here for so long. So let me know and we can add them to the list to be archived. And that's it for me.
Questions? For the New York NYPD Connect, is that only for 125th Street or is it for the whole?
The city.
Yes.
So an organization, all they have to do is reach out to you for that? Great. And the second thing is Mr. G Sneakers, they've been here for many years.
Mr. G Sneakers, what are they?
109 and 110, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
109 and 110 is what I have.
Thank you, man. I knew that.
Everybody knows Mr. G.
All right. Good to know.
Think of another, cause you said that street, okay.
109 and 110.
Thank you
Just
very
around
much.
that, yeah. Yeah, right, 109.
There's a newer guy that moved to Second Avenue, that's what I was just thinking. But I know what you're talking about.
And it was said, Pat's been here
Yeah.
since the 30s, so.
Are you?
We actually did get into the inside of Rose. They let us in, which is amazing. We got as far as the dining room.
That's major.
Wow.
Major,
Yeah, we're
razor.
9
Mr. G.
Whitaker has a question.
That's something already.
Nye Whitaker has a question.
Go ahead, Renee.
Hang on one second,
No,
guys.
go
My alarm is going off. Hang on.
So was one of the victims, interviewing.
Sorry about that. Two questions. The first is about, and Carrie, if you guys don't know this, just let me know. Are any of the buildings, not just the stores, but the buildings being invited by the police department to participate in that camera program? Like the
Yeah,
rest?
it's open to everybody. I think they rolled it out in Queens first, so it's kind of new coming to East Harlem. And I
I
think
didn't know if that would be a
they-
great benefit to the people like in Uptown Grand or, any of the businesses that are participating with union settlement stuff, to have that option.
Yeah, it's open to everybody. It's very new. So they have a data provider who, once the business signs up, then the data provider comes out and puts the equipment in with the business's security camera so they can tap
So
into
it
it. But
can
it's
be
open to-
residential, not just retail.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, second question. Are there gonna be opportunities to submit testimony or to come down to City Hall in support of the bid at any of those two times that you mentioned?
That is so nice. I think, yeah, they haven't submitted the package yet to city council for the committee. So if any kind of statement of support would be great. I would hate to make you sit through city council. But.
I'm offering,
you
so
can-
please feel free to contact me offline. I'm happy to help, people with, if they want to write something, if they want someone to edit it, if, you want to have, a site that we throw up where people can write stuff, whatever people want to do. And if people want to come down, like, we should organize. I think it's really good. I've done other bid work when people from the community show up, even if they're just seated in the city council hearing, to be able to say, like, we have, members of the community here to support this bid and moving forward. That's what a lot of the groups downtown have done, and it'd be good for us to have a similar pattern to our show of support.
That is great. That's great. I'll ask SBS, and yeah, I'll reach out to you. That's wonderful. Thank you for, bringing that up. Yeah, absolutely.
Good night. I know we're looking forward to the bid, getting their final approval. This is our first bid in East Harlem. It's a bid that was supported this community board for quite a long time. We know the importance. 125th Street, and unfortunately for a long time due to the issues in that center, like a lot of businesses have kind of folded and went away, but we're hoping this bid can revitalize that and continue, especially now that second subway seems to have funding currently, and we're gonna loop connected there, right? That's where it's going to end up. So we're hoping that this becomes what your namesake is, right? Like the Uptown Grand Central, like a bubbling area of businesses and connections. But if you see Grand Central, it's like it's always there's always something happening and businesses are doing well. That's what we're hoping for the community, particularly that area which has had all these, Carrie's been there. Fighting.
For years,
Yeah.
because years.
It's 10 years this year. Yeah.
All right.
I have a Felix Campos, this hasn't raised for a while. Felix Campos, is that? No, Felix Campos. Felix, you have your hand raised? You have a question? Hello, Felix? You're muted if you're trying to speak.
Is he a member or is he?
A member of the public, but this is someone who's had his hand raised since we started the informational updates. I don't know if this is a person that you guys interact with or. Okay, so then, never mind.
I just have one other question, if you don't mind. I didn't want you to think that it was the old raised hand.
That was older. Sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, this is just something that we don't have to get into today, but since we have both Uptown Grand and Union Settlement here, we don't know what's going to happen with congestion pricing, and to just think about in the event that it stays, what kind of campaign can we run to encourage people to spend their money uptown, because people are then parking, people are coming down 25th Street, switching and taking the trains in to go to Midtown. You've got Metro North here, and not something that we have to do now, but as the summer and the warm weather approaches, I think it's a great opportunity for us to think about how we can offer, whether it's working with NYC Tourism or working, with our other partners in the vicinity and elected officials to run some sort of like, if downtown is too expensive, come spend your money uptown kind of programs. So just wanted to throw that out there. Thank you.
I'll bring that back. Thank you.
I like that idea. That was great. Okay, we're gonna now move forward into our presentations and discussions there. Oh, I'm spotlight. That's funny. I get to read it. I was there from last month.
Roll the video. Roll the video.
It should be. That would make it much easier to roll that video. All right, let me, I put myself last month so we can start the year kind of, so Body Part Service is a family-owned business, right? My family owns it. There's 5 of us, my parents, my brother, my sister. Really just my mom, myself, and my sister tend to be there more often than not. But we offer transportation. We're a community car service. Been here 50 years, long time. Long time now that I see it. I'm not 50. You know, I took it over when I was about 18. I was in City College and I'd go back and forth. And then I've been there ever since. It's been a long time. It's been very it's been a good ride. Recently, with obviously with the advent of Uber, things have changed, right? We had very old technology before, it was two-way radio, it would take forever for most people to like. 10 people called and I had to serve them one at a time, dispatch and get back to them. And by the time the 10th person was calling, that's why back in the day, there were significantly more people hailing in the street. Cause that process just took a long time. And there wasn't any other transportation, right? The reason these community car services came to exist, 'cause yellow cars wouldn't come to our areas. We were considered dangerous, we were considered among other things, right? We were just not serviceable. Everyone stayed in the lower district where it was just consistent with business. And, but as anything happens, right, when there's a need, right, to this day, even our public transportation has obviously improved in the last 50 years, but we still get significant complaints from our buses, we get significant complaints from trains and things of that nature. Safety wise and otherwise, so there's still a lot of individuals that don't have cars and they rely on community car services to do their dailies, from taking their kids to school, to going to work, so, appointments. We also work with, New York State Department of Health. We do non-emergency Medicaid transportation for anyone in that program, so we take you to your appointments, bring you back. This program, little teaser, just, basically the state, the federal government, it's easier. It's actually cheaper to keep people healthy. Then wait for them to go to emergency rooms and spend 6 months in the hospital, and that's huge, as those come up. What they do is they pay for your transportation to go to your regular checkups, your regular, whatever it is you need, could be dialysis, could be just a regular thing. And we're a part of that program, we also do, I don't think you mentioned it, sorry.
I just took it.
So, with the change in technology, innovation, iteration, we changed our system. We have a dispatch system that works with an app. Drivers see all the calls one shot. Excuse me, my allergies are technically I'm an allergy man this coming year. And yesterday I was fine with carrying it, today it was just like. But so yeah, we have a passenger facing app as well, where any passenger could, whether they want to use cash or credit card. Prior, we didn't use credit card due to some constraints with like credit card fraud, which is like rampant in our communities. But we managed to, work through that and work our way among that by depositing a small amount, charging a small amount. Then the person has to open their account, put that into the app, and then go in. Typically, our fares are significantly more reasonable than what you would find in like app-based companies. Primarily, we do not use dynamic pricing, which means when you need the ride the most, we're not like gouging you, it's not double, triple. Like if it's $20 in the morning, it's gonna be $20 in the afternoon, it's gonna be $20. And people in our community need that, right? Because obviously some people financially do better than others. But there are a group of individuals, like I was discussing with Carrie, that, especially elderly that live off their SSI, their security, and they can't always sustain that ability of, changing that price that much. For our driver's sake, we're talking about maybe adding a few dollars for the gas, because, obviously during traffic at times, they tend to spend a little more gas, but nothing in the sense of what an app-based company does, where they're like, it could be double or triple. I'm sure you've all experienced that if you use Lyft or Uber, where it could really change. Yeah. So we've been there for a long time. We're at 20 East 116. We've been on 116. I grew up there basically. So my sister was born there. My daughter was born. She was in my office the first 2-3 years. So she started going to schools when she, when I couldn't bring her. And otherwise, for her sake, she'd still be there. But so we've been on that block for a very long time. And it's been great, you know, Southern Carrier, like it's not just about having a business, about having community connections. I've been on this community board for, I don't know, 15 years or so. Started off with a little thing, but I've been here ever since. So it's just like it's like glutton for punishment. But you know, you want to serve your community. I'm happy when people like use the community and I'll get feedback and I'm like, Jose, and I'll introduce myself to someone like, yeah, owner of body, and oh, you don't know, you doing. And obviously, you know, as generations change, cash is, you know, our business is primarily cash, but obviously people are now feeling more comfortable not carrying cash. So then we did our app, we have credit cards there. You know, I had a good friend and she used to take a cab every day and like she was paying like $15 an Uber from 90 from First. A little more, like 100 from First to 116 in Park. And I was just like, it's a $9 ride. She's like, oh, but you know, I gotta get the phone number. We have an app. So we have to do a better job of working on the app. You know, and marketing and getting more on social media, which we just started playing with. It's been busy, but it's been a hard business to exist in. I was city and state keep causing me headaches and like, you know, there's always a new bill or a new something in the budget that's like so completely destructive because now everyone is centered on Uber and how they function. And sometimes when they want to get them under control, they blanket the whole industry. And by blanketing, like in 2018, they put a vehicle cap. So there hasn't been any more vehicles added on until since 2018. Like we're talking about now a significant amount of time, it's 7 years, which is why some of my service is like appreciated because my drivers can't add, it's hard, you just can't get more vehicles. They have to rent, they have to charge more, but now they feel more financial stress. And now because my drivers, and this is an important thing, my drivers are all independent contractors, right? They're like micro businesses. I don't own those vehicles. They own the vehicle, they do insurance, they affiliate with me, they pay me something weekly, I give them all the work. That's how we work. Actually, throughout all community car services work this way. There's no fleet owners. Only in Staten Island has fleet owners. But the rest of the boroughs, everyone works in this manner. And obviously, sometimes people think like, well, you know, I can't correct everything, but you know, drivers love working this way. Maybe if I wake up sick, but if I want to take off and spend time with my kids, they can spend time. You know, so I don't really have the control of when they work, but it also gives them a certain like freedom that they really enjoy. You know, and obviously they still have bills to pay and they have to work hard. And I tell a driver, look, you want to be a driver, you work. You know, you want to take a day off, take off Monday, take off Tuesday when it's slow. Don't take off the weekend. The weekend gets busy, Friday busy, you know, there's certain days that's preferable to work in, but that is still up to them and how they want. So they affiliate with me and then we go through that process and you know, we use a lot of more technology. If you call us, you'll get a text and the text has an app, has a link and you see it. So you open it, you'll see the map, you'll see all the information. It'll be a white Toyota, the plate number is there, the name of the driver is there. So everything you need to identify that driver is there so that you can have, you know, and we do this for public safety issues, right? Because we want to make sure people getting cab and getting going. There's a lot of issues and, you know, a lot of people trust us even with their kids. They love that ability and the driver has the ability to call you call the driver. And obviously you can also not call the base, but before you couldn't, right? Before you just called the base. But I'm also like dealing with all these other calls and sometimes I couldn't give you the best service that I would provide, but now connecting the drivers together allows like individuals that feel like a lot easier in terms of communication, but in terms of also safety. You're almost here, you're almost there. Sometimes people send a lot of family members, girlfriends, it's at home, or grandmothers, anything. Anyone, everyone, they just want to be like, hey, you drop them off? Yeah, no, we drop them off. And they don't necessarily have to wait at my main office number, which sometimes gets very busy, especially on a busy night. It can be, you know, your wait may be, and I may not be able to give you that best service, because then that dispatcher has to, okay, hold on, call the driver, hey, and now I just kind of mesh that connection. So, you know, that's been good in the sense, and we're here, you know, struggling to survive. We have an association, I'm the president of for some years, so we deal with the city and the state, and we have a lobbying firm, the right group, which has been great to us. But we have a lot of work to do consistently, and most of our work is when we get this blanket approach over. Like, I wanna control Uber, I wanna make sure they're doing the right thing, but every little, you know, thing gets kind of wrapped over that. So, you know, here we are, 50 years of the maintenance, it's 50 years, crazy. The business was there before my parents, but my parents bought it from the previous owner, and I believe his name was Julio Trios. Could be mistaken, but they actually opened it, and there was a time when this industry was all private plates. Cause like I told you, this started just from the necessity, so people started doing it with their regular cars, I'll take you over there. And eventually it got so big that the city was like, all right, we need to make some money, I mean, we need to manage this. Public safety, but little by little, they add on layers and layers and layers, and they just get so complicated and convoluted that I'm like, really? Luckily, you know, we're still here, we're hoping to continue to be here, but it is a struggle, you know, for any small business, it's a struggle. I was telling Carrie, like, luckily we own our building, but it's not like the biggest struggle that you have in our neighborhood for small business or rent, and it's happy to hear that Union Settlement has this program. But some of these rents are getting outrageous, people think they're sitting on gold, and I'm. You know, when we have a building, we're still like, what? And it's happening everywhere in the city. You know, my little place in Morris Park, just a tiny little house. They told me like that asking price was, how much? I mean, you should be happy because we own it, but still, I'm just like, oh my God, I wouldn't pay that for this little house. I love that. You know, and prices are just getting to a point where like people really can't purchase it unless you have a substantial amount of money. So, you know, this is kind of our, you know, spotlight on embodied car service. It's been serving this community, and it has a lot of other car services in there that used to be in this neighborhood, but we kind of purchased as we expanded along the way. There was East Car Service, there was New Easyway, which we still keep as a separate entity there. They were on 106, right in front of White Park. And we were there for a long time, even after we purchased it, but eventually, again, the rents started getting horrendous, and you're just like, you know, we ended up consolidating where we already own. But yeah, that's a little small history lesson of the car service world. You know, we're hoping to continue giving our community service as we go along. Carry
Can I remember the public speak?
Of course.
I would highly recommend, I had not done this until yesterday, just go to the Google Play Store or however your phone does it.
Downloaded it.
El Barrio's car service is right there, that is amazing, and you can you make a little profile, and you never need to use Uber. It's so cool, congratulations, like, this is not easy, and to get all the different car services, can you,
Sure.
question, what happens if you, using this amazing new technology, request a car, but El Barrio's car service cannot pick you up?
It will, so what we've done,
I'm speeding it up for you. It's very cool.
So,
It's very
so
cool.
what we've done in order to survive against, and then it is big as Uber, because you have to realize Uber went from 0 cars to 130,000 cars
Crazy.
in a span of 3 years, right? And those times they went out of public, it's a different Uber, we actually have a good relationship with them now. But back then they were like cutthroat Uber, we're growing, we're expanding, we have to show all our investors what we have. So what we did is, even though other community car services are technically like competition, right? Because we compete for drivers more than that. In order to give better service, what we do is I'm connected with 250 other bases throughout the city. So before I could take you to Coney Island, but getting you back, you would have to find a community car service from there and kind of call. But now I'm connected to all these other cars that are on the same platform. So if you go to the Bronx, if you go further away from East Harlem, because when I tell you community car service, yeah, like my center is still here. And my drivers like to drop off. But like anyone that wants to go home, they want to come back and work in this area. But in order to give better service and not have our clientele, like our customers leave, to use Uber, we connected with all these other, so for the first minute, you'll get a cab that's only from my base and by. But after a minute, if no one has picked you up from there, then we open it to all the bases. And you can get a call from Kids, from Exeter, from First Class, from, you know, Best Deal. You can, depending, a good friend of mine, Williams owns Best Deal up in North Bronx. He deals with Bay Plaza, so I can take you to Bay Plaza, bring you back again, you know. Not as easy, right? Because it's a trip, but now his driver's just sitting there. So his driver's out there, and then we do that vice versa. Sometimes during the Friday and rush hour, I have people want to go to the Bronx, and my driver will be like, yeah, no, it's too much traffic for me. But his drivers are trying to get to hit their back to their community. They're like, oh, I'll take them, and I'll go, you know, and that has enabled us to significantly improve service, right? Even though obviously we're just sharing and we don't really make any money off of it, but at the end of the day, it's not like small scope, so like a little larger scope, making sure that overall our customers are happy and they continue using us instead of just losing you altogether to like an Uber type. And then there's not much we can do at that point.
That was very wise of you.
It's so cool, it's so cool, it's like
It
that's
took
David
a lot
against
of
Goliath.
convincing. It's a lot of convincing, because you have to remember that we were like, and continue to be like direct competitors.
Right.
But,
Why not?
but no, I mean, at least in here, in my community, there's no one like we expanded in, but in other communities like the Heights. You get huge base, you have like a Riverside next to a high class, next to a first class, next to a like Siemens, and they're like within like walking distance. And I was just like, ooh, I don't know how they do it, but even them, it helps them significantly, right? Because for them overall, the bigger competition is that now they're 90,000 vehicles. But you can't compete with the 90,000 unless you insert that to form this web. And then obviously keep the customer happy, and then you're able, they'll call you again. That's really the goal, right? They call you again. When your driver picks them up or someone else picks them up, as long as they're getting picked up and they get good service, overall, this is kind of like the direction that we're looking forward to. Thank you.
I want to say congratulations, and that was awesome that you decided to, let's work together instead of, you know, against each other. You were at Borinquen CEO meet and greet, and you heard that Ponte. This idea is the same thing. Instead of working against each other, the 6 FQACs in East Harlem, which is that 6 FQACs for East Harlem, that says a lot. Instead of working against each other in silos, let's work together so that we can take care of the whole East Harlem community instead of just 1,000 patients here and 1,000 patients over here.
Yeah,
It's
that's
the same concept, and
same
that's awesome.
and it's very
You know,
beneficial.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah.
beneficial.
so, yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna move on. It's got a busy night. We got other presenters, all right? We got a request for letter of support for capital project for additional art space, which we love art space. The Puerto Rican Workshop Inc. is seeking a letter of support for capital project to create new art space exhibitions and housing. 121 East 106th Street, House 6, Cadero, Chief Financial Officer.
No, I'm Marcos Dimas.
Marcos,
Was
that's
able
okay.
to make it.
That's all right. I know you were here last one.
I'm
too.
here, and
Please, if you could
So-
present to us.
yes, well, my name is Marcos Dimas. I'm the executive director of the Puerto Rican Workshop. And we've been in the community for 55 years. First of all, I started out with a group called the Art Workers Coalition, and some of the things that we did that benefit the whole New York City is, one, we demonstrated and went to the New York State Council of the Arts and have them create a department to fund community arts organizations. That happened back in 1969. And most of these organizations that get funded, community organizations benefit from that. Another thing that we did was we went and demonstrated in the Metropolitan Museum, Museum of the City of New York, the Museum of Modern Art, and had demonstrated and demanded that there be a day or time allotted for community people who couldn't afford the $20 admission price to the museums to make accessible hours. And they did, and now you could go to the Museum of Modern Art on Fridays, and they give you from like 5 o'clock to 8 or 9. And that's free, or you could go to the museum, the Metropolitan Museum. And if you're a New York City resident, you pay what you wish. I usually give them $1, because they're taking my taxes, right? And so forth. So we did that. We came into East Harlem. And we set up the Taller Boricua, with the help of the Rio Great Society. The RGS people, I don't know if anybody knew them or heard of them. They were here. It was an organization that was here. And they were a community-based organization, and they helped us with our first space, which was located on Madison Avenue between 111 and 112th Street, right across the street from the Young Lords offices. We collaborated a lot with the Young Lords, promoting the demonstration, doing posters for community events, for the schools, for the colleges, and so forth and so on. You know, our arts organization, we set up a printmaking workshop, which we still have a printmaking workshop, and created posters for activities at the colleges, at the schools. But at that time, they created what they called Puerto Rican and Black and Puerto Rican Studies departments. And then these departments would get funded, and they would hire us, and we would bring exhibition. We would bring an exhibition with the poets, with the New York poets. We would get los pleneros de la 110. I forgot his name, Victor, and Marcel. And we would take a whole cultural thing to the schools with music, poetry, and visual arts. So anyway, we did that for a long time. And then the next thing that we did, which was another plus for the community, was Boyce Harbor wanted to turn the Headship building into a cultural building. And they couldn't do it because they weren't from the community, they were outside the community. So they came to us, to Yacaya, and we came to the community planning board to ask for the permission for that building to be turned into a cultural center. It did. It became, Boyce Harbor became the prime tenant. They came in, later on, the Museo del Barrio came in, and they're still there. So that was another thing that we did in the community. I created a lot of workshops and artist and residence programs with the district, in schools in PS and 96, PS 7, a few of the schools in the community. So we've been well rounded out in terms of creating programs and supporting the arts and the general community. We had a series of programs during the Dinkins administration. We managed to get into a program where we bought a building from the city and turned that into artist housing. And then we moved to the Headship building, we moved all over the place, we built 5 places throughout the community, 5 different locations. And then we set up our shop in 1685 Lexington Avenue, right across from what is now the Julia de Burgos Culture Center. That was a school that was abandoned until PS 72, abandoned since 1968, I think, 60, no, earlier than that, because in 1968, I was there in a program in that school. And we then went to Mayor Koch and proposed that the building become a cultural center. They wanted to turn it into a day shelter, they wanted to turn it into a homeless shelter. And we demonstrated against Koch. And Koch was almost on his way out to get the Puerto Rican vote. He said, okay, we'll give them this piece, you know? We got the piece and it became the Julia de Burgos Culture Center, which is now, that's where we're at right now. So we've been there now since the year 1999, 2000 at the Julia de Burgos Culture Center. Julia de Burgos Culture Center is managed by EDC, Economic Development Corporation, which is not even a city organization. They're an independent organization that manages the real estate for the city. The EDC has mediated to give us a long-term lease for now, almost since the year 2000. We've been there 20 odd years. And we started to see the writing on the wall. So we decided to do a capital project to turn one of our buildings. We have a building that we purchased back in 1976 from the city because the city wanted to move in the Department of the Parks Department into the Heckscher building. And we talked to the city and said, listen, we'll give you our space at the Heckscher building. Give us a building outside and we'll do sweat equity and we'll build it up. And when we did, they gave us a building and we did sweat equity. The building was abandoned and half burnt. And we have that building for artists, studios and a printmaking workshop. So we're thinking if we're not gonna last long at Julia de Burgos, we need somewhere to go. So we want to create this capital project to start developing that building so it become a permanent Puerto Rican workshop in East Harlem. That's the whole story.
It's a great story, not a history.
Question, where is that building located again?
Which one?
121 East,
The
106.
Julia Burgos?
Oh, 106 Street.
Yeah, they're building
It's
their,
160 and 105 on Lexington Avenue.
Okay, that's the art studio one.
That has our galleries are in there
Ah.
and studios, but we also have another studio, which is 121 East 106.
it's next to 106 of Park.
Yeah, which we want to develop into a permanent building,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah, it's on the block of 106 of Park.
On the church side or the?
The new
That
program
looks like-
location, if all goes well, what new programs do you expect to hold there?
Well, basically the same programs that we've been doing. We have the gallery at the Julia de Burgos Culture Center, which features 6 to 8 exhibitions throughout the year. And there's an exhibition right now, which features a lot of the work from the print shop, from our print shop. And we also do, we've become like a multi-arts organization. We do poetry recitals, we do musical events. I hold once a month, once every 2 months, a community jam where we invite musicians and spoken word people to collaborate and create and jam, and do like a music and poetry event, you know? So that's one of the things. And I have this synopsis resume of all the activities that we have done, you know, so we give this to you.
Can I see it?
And so I mean, we've been around since 1969, And we've done almost everything in the community in terms of the arts, you know? From teaching in the schools to teaching in the workshops, we featured artists throughout the emerging and mid-career artists. That is artists who have not had the opportunity to exhibit in a downtown exhibition space or a gallery. And we feature them, we are basically like a springboard for a lot of the arts, Yeah. But
Is the printmaking workshop just for artists, or can other non-trained people come in and learn how to do it?
we do have some classes. Right now, we have like a collective of artists that have been working there on specific projects. You know, so we've had some projects that have been transferred to Puerto Rico, celebrating cultural heroes from Puerto Rico, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, we do a whole gamut of activities. Yeah.
I've seen the recent show that's at the Julio de Burgos.
You
right
saw
now.
it?
Beautiful, yeah.
Okay, good, yeah. Well, that show features a portfolio that we did celebrating our 30th anniversary. So there's one gallery has a portfolio exhibiting the works of the artists that were participating at the 30th anniversary. Then the other two galleries are works by contemporary collective that's working now with the print shop, you know, yeah.
We have a question from,
He lowered his hand.
Okay, Rich.
I have a question. What's the best method of contacting you?
We have a website. It's www.tallerboricua.org. That's TALLERBORICUA, tallerboricua.org. And then we also have a telephone number, 212-831-4333.
Thank you.
Yeah,
4333.
4333.
What's your name again?
Marcos Dimas.
And there's also social media. I just saw there's an Instagram account if people wanna
There's
follow.
an Instagram account.
Yeah, their events and announcements.
Yeah. No, well, visit our website, you will see the exhibition. That will lead you also to an artist talk page where every exhibition, we do an artist talk where the artist talks about the work, we film it and we put it on the web. And there's films and the artwork also.
So Taller Boricua owns that building.
No. Which building? 121,
For
121.
anyone it's right in front of Saint Cecilia's.
Right,
Street, from like the
exactly.
main entrance,
Yeah.
near 106 and Park and, my office used to be on Lex and also like.
Oh, you guys used to be in the next level?
New Easy Way, yeah, it used to be there.
Mhm.
So, but you own 121.
121, we own, yeah.
So we just wanna get to the nit of the request, which is. You want a capital project, who would be making this capital project, city?
No, we have an architect that's working on the drawings already, so we need to start fundraising. That's a capital project. To fund, the construction of the building.
But the year Boricua owns that, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, but the request to the city, do you know which city agency we're making this request to, or? Or you're just adding it as a capital project for the community and.
No, it's a project of the Puerto Rican workshop, the capital project.
Okay, so.
It's not a city project.
What do you need the letter?
But where do you need the letter for then?
What do you need?
We're gonna do fundraising.
So you want to apply for capital funding?
We
We're
were,
seeking a letter of support from the
Exactly.
community board, that will help in your
Yeah, that will
application.
help.
That will-
So you are asking for funding from the city. Well, that's why we just wanna know where is this
not
letter?
only from the city, but from, foundation like the Ford Foundation, the Mellon Foundation, and a whole list of others. You know, Rockefeller Foundation, all these foundations give,
Right,
funds, but we have to apply for them.
And currently you have the print shop in the bottom, is that still there?
Still there, yeah.
Okay, and that would be like the main exhibition, and upstairs you have housing,
Upstairs, we have offices
okay.
and artist studios,
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
artist studio, sorry.
yeah.
So you would be restructuring everything there.
Restructuring, yeah.
Okay, that's
Mhm.
good.
And we have an architect that says we could go up 3 floors and go to the back also, so that,
Yeah, backyard.
yeah. we have
Yeah,
back door.
most of our brownfields have backyard.
Yeah, so,
Yeah. They did a lot of work, so they're doing our own program.
So I remember when you guys were in PS7 when I was a student, about the 80s.
yeah, right.
You guys did theater with us,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, we had
So,
we had
50 next year.
Johannes Ballester teaching. We had Johannes Ballester teaching art. We had Taina Traverso with the parental involvement. We had, Jimmy Delgado teaching music. And I don't know how many more other artists were working, yeah. With Luz Hernandez, know Luz Hernandez?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Theater, yeah.
In the meantime, is there anything we can do to help support you all in terms of securing a longer term lease? Currently, at the Julio de
And the
Blanco?
Julio Luz, that's an
Because the
interesting.
capital project is it's gonna take time.
It's gonna take
But in the
time.
meantime, like you said, it's a month-to-month lease. Is there anything we can do to support?
Well, definitely, we could try to find out why, EDC does not wanna give a long-term lease to anyone in the building.
yeah, it's not just that, like, they don't give it to anyone,
Yeah.
but you've been there forever, like, they.
We were the lead
It's like the silliest
organization.
thing.
We were the lead organization to have
Yeah.
that building become a culture center.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So typically what we like to do, is we hear the presentation and then we wait a month, disseminate. But they were here last month and we did not have quorum. So if there's any like major, opposition or concern, or anything, I prefer like we ask them now. As you hear, that everybody was in this community for like forever, pretty much.
Yeah.
Their interest is in the arts and space and what they do is like a great work. So I'd just like to make sure everyone is comfortable, because typically we don't, like I said, and that was something I instilled in my last public safety committee, because when I was a new member. I remember being like first time created board and they just dump everything on you, they're like, vote, and you're like, sometimes you don't even understand what you're voting. This is a little more like straightforward. But I do like to keep that procedure in place. But again, since we had this kind of issue last month, we're all beautiful, but we're here last month and they were so very gracious at not being able to present. I'd be curious if anyone here wants to, or has any questions that we can clear up. And if not, then we can make a motion. I mean,
I'm thinking it's, Didn't work out. I'm good.
everyone else is good, you guys want to make the motion?
I make the motion to approve for the support letter, show the support.
But they want to let us support for capital project at 128 streets.
Sorry.
In order to create new arts exhibition and housing, and this is a building that we currently own. Second, okay, so we're gonna do hands, please, all in favor?
Aye.
Big nine, and some is online.
Oh, nice, not with us anymore, so give me 1 second, we'll just make
We're
it.
still good, we've got 5 here.
Okay, good, perfect.
No, no loss, no loss. Okay, so then, you know,
That was
that's it, 5 in favor.
unanimous?
Unanimous, thank you so much, thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And now we're gonna move forward. We have urban upload. 3335 East 111th Street. Urban upload provides low-income New Yorkers with the tools and resources needed to achieve economic mobility and self-sufficiency. Urban achieves this through employment services, college access, youth development, mental health and wellness, financial counseling, affordable housing, tax prep, income support, community revitalization through business innovation, financial inclusion services anchored by the Urban Outlook Federal Credit Union. Love this. Christopher, you're up.
Well, thank you for having us here. My name is Christopher Wilkinson. I work with the East Harlem office of Urban Upbound. I'm an engagement coordinator, and pretty much what my key role is to be able to work with community-based organizations, establishing and developing community partnerships. Because I work closely with the employment team, and we work with members from 18 and up. And we help to increase enrollment membership with our organization, and we do workshops, which is for 2 days of job readiness, pairing them with interviews, mock interviews. We do all the different employment trends that make them marketable. In addition to that, we also do other community events. That in the neighborhood, we would give out flyers that the schools and other community-based organizations know about the things that we're doing, so they come meet with us, and at the same time, they're also looking for any type of employment needed or they're able to provide the services. We fill out an intake application, it allows them to become a member. We put them, in our system so that they become official members. But again, an organization that's been working with the community, it's been around for 20 years. There's like 5 locations. We have 4 Queens. We have Queensbridge office, we have the Astoria office, we have Ravenswood, and we have Far Rockaway, and then of course the East Harlem office. And so again, we are trying to be impulsive in community, working with them, and this is pretty much what we do here.
Yeah, to add on to what Chris said, we've had a big focus on helping out this community for a long time. I can speak to this year when our team's been brought in. So me and Chris specifically with the citywide team, we work both at our office in Queensbridge in Long Island City, and at this location. That means with this year, one big change we've had is we have the former restrictions we had under our program where we can only work with nicer clients lifted. So we can work with anyone throughout the city. And we have employment services for all things. So if anyone is looking for work, even though we primarily focus on entry individual positions, we encourage everyone to come seeking our services. We're always ready and willing to help. Even if you're not looking for something immediately, our job readiness course and our interview building that we have for the 2-day course, I think it'd be extremely valuable if you're in between jobs or just generally trying to build on the skills. One other thing I feel is important to add with anyone who comes in, when you sign up for our services, you're permanently a member. So if we help you find something, or if you find something on your own, but your heart's not in it, we encourage people to keep on coming to our job clubs where they can speak with someone we call employment specialists. That's someone who's assigned to work with them just continuously. So whether they're looking for something new or just want to venture out and see what opportunities are out there, we're gonna have a member of our team working with them.
I got plans for you.
New people.
It's like another example of great programming, right? When did you guys get listed from from only
August.
right? Because I knew the guys, but there was certain restrictions.
Yeah,
Look at
before we
me.
were under jobs. It's always been urban uptown, but before we were under jobs plus, now we're citywide.
Oh, this is great programming for our community. And we look forward to sharing with everyone and other organizations.
Very welcome to.
How long you guys been in East Harlem?
Well, we've citywide transition, since last year, so we're approaching a year.
Okay.
But we were operating more so from, Long Island City, from Queensbridge until, we left our home here in East Harlem.
But that location, I believe, spent 10 years though, right? Like
10 years with, the East Harlem office, but it's for, as far as overall citywide, it's, approaching, 3 years in November.
Any questions? And do you have any paperwork with your Queens address?
Unfortunately, not right now. I came in mainly with the East Harlem materials. You can look us up at urbanupbound.org though, that has the information for all of our locations. Yeah, if you look under our workforce development services, you'll see it under our Long Island City location. So yeah, it's at 1038 41st Avenue, Long Island City. And one thing I do want to add, just in terms of like our, just to speak to some of our highest turnover before at the other location, while we are still building things up in East Harlem. At Queensbridge, while we're holding outreach for the surrounding Queens location, that culminated last year in April, where at York College, we had a job fair that had over 1,200 attendees. And we're very proud of that, and we hope to at one point do something similar here. We can't speak to anything, set in stone yet, but that's the kind of waves we want to make here.
The
Thank
great
you.
initiative, we look forward to that.
Yes.
I think he needs all the help.
Correct.
No, we need it.
Mhm.
All right, thank you so much. guys.
Thank you.
For the business for the business innovation work that you all do you do all of that in-house or do you work with other organizations and other folks who do like technical assistance to support the business innovation work, or you're working with people who want to start small businesses?
Our business innovation office, that's over at Queens. We do still have it as an umbrella in our program. But in regards to our East Harlem office, that's primarily focused on workforce development and seasonally, like what's going on right now, taxes.
What do you do with taxes? Is that for the community?
We offer free taxes, and we're currently booked out. It's been very popular, but we do accept walk-ins depending on how dense the crowd is throughout the day. So every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. If any of you still need to process your taxes, you're welcome to come in.
Is there an income, how some places you have. to have
Yes,
different-
I'm sorry, I don't know the restriction off the top of my head, but yeah, you have to be under a certain limit. It's lower than what I believe the IRS's free program is. I'm sorry, it's higher than what the IRS is lower than this, but yeah, so for that, I definitely recommend looking into it, like seeing if that's the best option for you. You books that are down, I believe it's just taxes and there'll be a way to book an appointment. I definitely recommend our website for the various programs that we have under us, but yeah, we have that going on until that's the tax season. With potential walk-ins allowed. I caution against going in like right at the very end, as walk-ins may be impossible around then, but we actually have offices all throughout the city regarding taxes, including the Bronx.
And in addition to the tax preparations, we also offer other services besides just the employment service. Even though our main focus is employment services, but under the umbrella of Urban Upbound, we also offer mental health counseling. We offer financial counseling, and we also offer what they call entrepreneurship program that they have. And again, these are services that we in the communities that they're, serving, and this is why they have credit union and, things of that nature, but I might share that because this is what members get receive when they're, officially a member with that.
So just so I can follow, my question was, do you do all of this in-house? This is like you have your own staffing that does all of this, or are you working with other community partners to like do all of
So for
this?
business innovations, it's a mix, my understanding, that we do have some staff that's dedicated exclusively towards that, but I believe they do work based on referral as well. For us, so like I said, like we focus on workforce development. For that end of it, we primarily focus helping People get hired, or some partner employers and already established have openings.
Our employment team is comprised of employment specialists and what we call curriculum job developers. Curriculum job developers is on connection with other employers to have accounts, so that this way, this is how we wind up having job centers that we have. Employment specialists, so work more one-on-one with the members and be able to start building a career path and be able to get jobs. So they're working hand in hand with each other, but that experience that we have so far, employment team and services that we provide resolve.
And if we wanna reach out to one of you, what's the best way to get in contact?
So we actually have both our number and my email personally listed on these flyers. I can pass them out.
Yep, great.
Yeah, so the green one is our general flyer. You can use that for this, coming in anytime, but the other one is for our next workshop, our next job rights workshop, which is next Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great presentation. Thank you, guys. We look forward to with you and our community.
Thank you so much. I'll just not, you guys favor that go out and do like outreach?
Yes, we can do that also.
Cause in July and August, we have open streets. Besides this, I'm a director of communications at Golden Gate Health Center, and we have open streets every Friday, and they invite a lot of the different organizations that need to come out and the table and give out resources. Invite them. All right.
And we're gonna move forward. I don't think Sarah Baines is here.
Or your name, for the record?
Jason Juliana.
Thank you.
So this is good idea.
Yeah, the next one, I don't think he was able to make it. I believe we got an email that he was not able to make it.
Okay,
But
there's no one
so we'll
online.
have it for another time.
Okay.
We'll look. Committee discussion for all those presentations. Okay, for next month, we have, Anne Marie is bringing in her big boss. Alright, we have one event house center coming in. That'd be great.
It's either him or I'll be presenting.
Okay, but we take turns here, you see that?
Yeah.
And then we will see, look, we want to, talk to all of the members of the committee to see if they can, talk to, like businesses near them. To see who's interested, or if you work for, business organization or anything inside of East Harlem, like we can also. Feel free to say Jason too, we can have event, we've been like, if we'd like for these things to continue, we'd like to. That small spotlight, something that was here already, and it's very important that we give that spotlight to small business. So that they can continue growing, as we work on like a more like broader approach to what, what bigger issues are. I also, it's not on the.
Should we bring those to you or?
Yeah, you can just email us, I think we're gonna start a email chat so we can all talk, or if everyone uses WhatsApp, I love WhatsApp chats. It's a nice way of just everyone staying in communication. We're gonna bring attendance up. Do you think you can bring attendance up? We did have an issue with quorum last month, but the executive committee is taking a strong attendance. I'm happy that you're here, so we're able to hear the presentations, we don't get nervous. And I got here, I was like, on the dot, and I was like, I'm like, who's here? Khalid's like, no, I was like. I was gonna hear the presentations anyway. Then whatever, and then I was gonna bring it up to executive, whatever I had to do, because I was like, oh, that's twice in a row, right? Everyone was there. Luckily, we all worked out.
I was a part of it.
And luckily, everyone made it out, we were able to have a quorum. We continue the good work. Well, we will, could you put attendance up?
You want the,
Like, just for Michael, yeah. I want everyone to be aware, that way. you can-
Moment of public shaming.
No, there you go.
No, you don't need to
Oh, yeah,
say.
well done.
Unless you want to say.
Thank you.
It was amazing, the staff will start making a letter. City. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Sorry, everybody, all the cross, we're still live, but all the crosstalk is interfering. Just wanna put it in.
Thank you. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's great.
Thank you.
Harry, like, I'm trying to get Harry to join the committee. I don't know why. I'm like, if we vote in. No, she doesn't. She's here anyway. She's here anyway. Everyone, she's here. So it'd be easier if she just joins. And if she has a conflict, she just says, person not voting. It's very,
I love this committee.
We love you, Karen. You have my number, but I'm gonna give it to him. I need my card.
You didn't even zigzags over there? What are you doing?
Yes.
Alright, so look, this is not, this is just, interview, look at your own names. I believe that we no longer have.
Eugene Rodriguez and Mark Rucker, you're no longer members.
Yeah. Eugene,
Is he still here with us?
Eugene, no, he's no longer with us.
Oh.
And, Mark,
On community board in general.
Mark had terrible retirement in Italy, so we take great pity on him. Yeah, he's gonna be living in Italy for 6 months, so.
Oh, wow.
He shared this at the last month when we didn't have quorum, he was here.
Oh.
So obviously, we're happy for him and everything.
Yeah.
So he'll be living there, I think, half and half.
That's so
But obviously,
cool.
like, it'll affect his attendance, so instead of, he'd rather just not deal with,
But he could do it from virtual.
Virtually.
Well, no, technically virtual is when don't stand in front of staff. Okay?
Don't
You're
even
gonna
get
get,
started.
you're gonna get drop kicked over here. It's supposed to be if you're sick
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
incapacitated.
Sure. Okay, moving on.
So January, we didn't have quorum. We learned this early on, so we canceled, right? Otherwise, there'd be more absences. So just,
What do all the letters stand for?
P is present, A is absent, LA is late. And then the other one's like left early, I think. Cuties, is that left early?
Yes, left early is.
I think it's QD, right?
Early dismissal, ED, right, so early departure.
What's QD? PQD?
Qualified
Present, qualified.
Oh, fine.
I was late.
Yeah,
I wasn't.
I came at 6:40, like, that's late.
Today, yeah, so you came when we were actually in recess.
Okay.
Yeah, we started at 6:30. And I mean, it doesn't count against your absence. You were still present.
present,
It's
yes,
just,
And if you give notice, is that excused or is that?
honestly, like, it is excused, but it's an absence here is an absence.
Yeah,
Just so you understand what like the executive committee is looking at, like whether it's excused or absent, the only way around that is if you're on board. Like business. For instance, sometimes they're on the Met, what you call it, the hospital, brain's not working right now.
Say, for example, the police has their
Yeah.
community council meetings and you're going
And
there.
you're there, then you're on board business, that would be the only absence that still counts towards because you're doing something for the community board. If I ask you like, that happens like in public safety where like ask, hey, we can't make,
yeah.
and you go there, but it's the same time. It still counts, as long as you went there.
So
So we can, you
today,
don't have to raise your hand.
so is it Jenny or Vinny is excused because they're at some other community board meeting?
Where it's, you will see excuses, but excuse means they basically told us prior to. Prior to the meeting, hey, I can't make it.
Yeah,
That's the only, but an excuse and an absence still works the same way. there is really no distinction other than you called prior and then we knew, like in January, enough people said,
Yeah,
we're not gonna make it. That I ended up like calling a meeting because
yeah.
like I'm gonna make two people come here out of the
Right.
way and then we're not gonna have four. And we knew we weren't gonna have.
We had a meeting last month.
We did not have it. It says
So
no
what's the
quorum.
We
February?
didn't make.
It
Is
says-
that wrong? Oh, no
It says no
quorum.
quorum.
So what does C mean?
Cancel.
Canceled. In January, we canceled.
We canceled in January.
I was here.
Yeah, but we had four. No, there's nobody. We canceled it prior to the meeting. Remember you called me, you're like, oh, tonight's meeting and it's not.
And you
it's
told me it
canceled.
canceled. Okay.
Yeah, so that one was canceled. That one doesn't count against anyone. The C's is actually like a blessing in disguise, but. No quorum in February, which is kind of like, the same crowd was here. I'm happy that, and we worked hard to make them come back. But
I'm never late. What are you talking about? I have October, November late.
it could be like, look, so lateness means this. Lateness
You wanna
means
hear after
6:30, we take attendance. And you come after 6:30, like today, we took attendance we started at 6:30, because that's the time we started. So it's not it doesn't count against, it's not like, not like work, you're not getting deducted.
But it's still
nothing.
it's just for marking.
It's just for marking purposes.
Full,
You're
for the
still
full board
present.
meeting, we have two separate sign-in sheets. And all members that enter in prior to starting at 6:30, they sign in on the early sheet, and any member that comes in after, they're signing in on the late.
What does PQD means?
Present qualifying disability.
Yeah, the video, you don't.
What about when you're on and all of a sudden you get off?
Then you're absent, like nine would be counted as absent.
So what she has PQD?
I would change it, I'm gonna change it, this is a living document. She was originally present online, and I marked her as PQD, but
Right.
she's not here, so. I'll go in the system, like right now. And mark her right now.
Is it recording?
The living document.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
we're,
wanted to see something, but
no, you're here, so.
how about, wait, there was another time. Oh, that must have been license. When she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
on and all of a sudden she's off.
Yeah, it's a different committee.
These
Both.
should also, you should definitely also check in with Marlene in terms of how your minutes are written, you don't usually have present, absent, excused, and guests.
Jenny Trusky is, she's a public one, right?
I'm assuming so, I don't.
Yeah, she's a public.
I believe she's a public. Because then, right. It's not a less, so look, happy that we were able to do this tonight, and we just wanna keep this in mind. One, because otherwise they're gonna start calling you at executive. And two, because, look, last month was unfortunate, like it just, people were here and we couldn't get the work done. I'm happy that we already get it through. And then we're carrying agendas, so there were other things that we couldn't add this month. Because they were already there, otherwise we'd be here all night kind of situation, that's not fair to anyone else, right, it's 8 o'clock as it is. I'd like to get you guys out at a timely between 8 and 8:30, I don't want to, this is not land use, but I'm looking at 10,
So how many accesses again? Like they start, so. you have
They
to
start in
go-
September and it's 4, anytime you hit 4, you get triggered. I know Jenny is a public member, that's why she has been triggered at executive. Because technically, I don't even know if she counts toward attendance or.
She is effectively impacting your form, so then yes, you
So,
can
yeah.
bring that up for executive and say that.
She was
You have a
here
public
last
member
month.
That's not attending.
He was here last month, but. So I have to have a conversation with Vinny, because now he had 4,
Hmm.
Shanique will talk.
I
4,
thought
so,
they took her off.
No, it's a different member, I don't remember the name.
so, and that's not counting January when we just weren't gonna have quorum, it was canceled. Because otherwise that would be even, so I just want everyone to be aware so that.
Can I say something?
Doesn't, sure,
You know why I say what I say?
say what
I'm
I say.
transparent and I don't care.
Uh-huh.
I say what I say, because we're all here, whether we come late. We are all here every month. Granted, there are times that we can't be here, but we let you guys know, but it's not fair, we're here, so. And I get it, when you're sick, disabled, but come on. People are abusing it.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
Yes.
I'm
That's
gonna be the same from now on.
That's the conversation that I've had with staff, and you have it at the court.
Mind my business?
Honestly, look, if it was up to me,
And
if it was up to me, my preference would be that these committees are done completely online.
We all work. We have
And
families.
because it's much easier for people and their lifestyles to do it online, and it's easier even for the public to do it online, but I would. If it was up to me, full board would be in person. You're gonna, if you can't come in once a month, then. And then all committees would be in person. If you send me a copy of it, you can see.
Okay.
I vote on that.
Can you just?
I mean, it's
One
not like
second.
we can vote.
I know.
Yeah, yeah, no, they would even made it.
Yeah.
I felt like this, they had disappeared, like they were, the same.
Did you just adjourn? I'm sorry.
We are adjourning now. Then we can,
Okay, so
so Anne Marie can really give her expression of how she feels.
Right.
okay.